제가 계속 이 단어를 말하면은 여러분들은 아마도 약간 웃을 거예요. 한 번 정도는 친구에게라도 Are you crazy? 라고 말해봤을 텐데요. Soul Rider. Hi everyone, 존입니다. 오늘 동영상에서는 테일러 스위프트가 최근 디즈니 플러스에서 열린 콘서트에 대한 인터뷰를 보면서 테일러 스위프트가 사용한 표현 몇 가지를 살펴보도록 하겠습니다.
It was so crazy to create an album from my house. I'd never done that before. I've always worked in studios, and this was an experience unlike anything else. And it really changed, I think, what this year would have been for me emotionally and mentally.
So the first thing she says is, it was so crazy to create an album from my house. I've never done that before. I've always worked in studios. This was an experience unlike anything else, and it really changed, I think, what this year would have been for me emotionally and mentally. 제가 살펴보고 싶은 것이 두 가지 있고, 첫 번째는 crazy라는 단어입니다. 영어를 잘하든지 아니든지 미친이라는 단어는 우리에게 매우 익숙합니다. 제가 계속 이 단어를 말하면은 여러분들은 아마도 약간 웃을 거예요. 한 번 정도는 친구에게라도 Are you crazy? 라고 말해봤을 텐데요. Now, there's a big difference with how crazy in Korean is used and how it's used in English. In English, the word crazy can be used in formal situations. ABC News is a very large network in the US, and Taylor Swift is one of the world's biggest stars. Yet, one of the first words to come out of her mouth is the word crazy, as she describes what it was like recording an album at home during the pandemic. It's also used informally quite often, and it's very necessary to understand the different nuances and meanings when trying to understand English dialogue. Let's go over some examples to give you a better idea. So the first one is, you sure you want to go? It's pretty crazy out there. 이렇게 말하는 사람은 날씨에 대해 말하고 있을 수도 있습니다. 밖에는 미친 듯이 비가 내리거나 눈이 내리고 도로 상황이 걱정이 될 수도 있습니다. 아니면 새해 첫날 종각은 어떨까요? 종소리에 모은 사람이 너무 많아서 붐비는 곳이 싫을 수도 있습니다. Okay, how about this one? Don't do anything crazy. 여러분을 영업팀의 팀장으로 가정하고 지금 팀원들과 회의를 할 수가 없습니다. 그래서 팀에게 위험을 감수하지 말고 보수적으로 영업하라고 지시합니다. 또는 여러분이 2명의 10대 자녀를 둔 부모이고 여러분이 집을 비울 때처럼 돌아왔을 때도 같은 상태였으면 좋겠다고 자녀들에게 말합니다. Don't do anything crazy. 아무 짓도 하지 마. And the next one. I had a crazy trip. I had a crazy time. 여기서 그 사람은 정말 좋은 여행, 시간을 보냈거나 정말 나쁜 여행을 했습니다. 말하는 사람의 목소리 톤에 따라서 그 여행이 좋은 경험이 있었는지 나쁜 경험이 있었는지 알 수가 있습니다. Alright, and this one. Traffic is crazy in Seoul. 여기서 이 말 뜻은 말 그대로 교통체증이가 미쳤다는 의미가 아닙니다. 이렇게 말한 사람이 작은 말이나 인구가 적은 곳 출신일 수도 있습니다. 저는 캐나다 출신이고 매일 보는 교통량은 서울거리에 비하면 아무것도 아닙니다. 제가 그곳에 살면서 만난 대부분 캐나다인들은 제가 서울에서 운전하는 것이 정말 용감하다고 했습니다. Okay, moving on to one of my favorites. He's driving me crazy. She's driving me crazy. 여기서 crazy는 매우 일반적인 뜻입니다. 한국어에서 미치겠다는 의미와 비슷해요. 여러분이 아는 사람이 여러분을 계속해서 좌절시키거나 짜증나게 하는 행동을 하거나 말을 할 때 쓸 수 있습니다. The next one is, what a crazy year 2020 has been. This one's self-explanatory. And last but not least, are you crazy? 여기서 crazy는 여러분이 가까운 사람과 대화할 때 사용할 수 있습니다. 누군가 밤에 위험한 곳으로 여행을 떠나려고 할 때 그 사람은 너 미쳤니? 너무 위험해! 라고 표현할 수 있습니다. Now, the second thing I'd like to talk about is where she says created an album. If I say these words one at a time, they sound quite different than if I say them without pausing in between. This is because of blending, or 연음 규칙 in Korean. When people talk, words blend together, so sentences can sound like one long word instead of multiple words. This happens when one word blends into the next word. Well, the same thing happens with English, and in this case, it's not created an album, but rather created an album. How about we check out a couple more to help give you a better understanding? Okay, so here we have I have an umbrella. Blending occurs when the last consonant sound blends into the next word that starts with a vowel. So the V here leaves have and is added to the front of an. And then the N in an is moved to the front of umbrella. So instead of I have an umbrella, it becomes I have an umbrella. I have an umbrella. All right, let's try a couple more to help you understand. Here we have he threw an egg at me. Here we take the W from through and put it in front of egg. And then we take the G in egg and put it in front of at. So instead of he threw an egg at me, it's he threw an egg at me. He threw an egg at me. Okay, let's try one last one. I'll make it up to you. Here the first word is actually a contraction. A contraction is when two words become one with an apostrophe between the two words. This helps shorten sentences, so instead of I will make it up to you, it's I'll make it up to you. I'll make it up to you. This aisle is pronounced the same as this aisle, and not I. The blending starts at the end of the word make. When the last consonant sound is a K, and the next word starts with a vowel, the sound changes to a G sound and is no longer a K sound. If you look at the word it, the last letter is a T. When a T is followed by a vowel, it becomes a D sound and not a T sound. I know this may sound a little bit confusing, but just remember K to G, T to D. Last but not least, when the word to is in the middle, it'll be shorter and sound like t and not to. To is too long and it stops the rhythm of speech in the middle of a sentence. If it's the first word or the last word in a sentence, it'll be just the regular to sound. So it's not I'll make it up to you, but it's I'll make it up to you. I'll make it up to you. Anyways, hope that helps. 오늘 준비한 영상은 여기까지고요. 좋아요와 구독, 댓글을 남겨주세요. 인터뷰 파트 2 영상에서 다시 만나요. 감사합니다.